my God.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw a post talking about art and design.
Yes.
I saw a post saying that designers aren't artists. And
How
what do you think?
rude.
Like, are are we artists or are we just like both?
Well, how would you define artist? Like, I guess I'm just confused what that would mean. Like, is artist using fine art? Is that
Like,
what they're thinking?
maybe, but actually, let me look. Let me.
Yeah. See if you can find that. Because I feel like we debate this a lot in our art history classes. Like, what is art? Like, there was that one dude for like, what is that called? Is it surrealism? I don't remember, but like, there was a dude who had like a urinal and then he just
Yes,
flipped it
Duchamp.
upside down. What is it
Wait,
called?
Duchamp? Is that the
What?
artist?
Let me check. But it's called
Because
like fountain or something, isn't it? Water fountain?
yes, the urinal like fountain, and he just put it in the exhibit and just was calling it art.
Yeah, yeah, fountain Marcel Duchamp.
Duchamp.
So
Du-
yeah, I remember we were talking about like what is this? Like, is this art or and I
yeah,
guess it's like depends on the person. I think that we're artists because we're making pieces. I don't know, how would you describe what art is?
yeah, like it's just so
That's
weird
such a hard
because
question.
I saw that and I was just like, oh my God, should I feel offended? Because that's how I felt. I was like, wait, like we aren't?
Yeah, and we often like separate the two. Like our school is blah 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 art and design,
Yeah.
which I guess because maybe people think like design is just like formatting or organizing, and then art is the actual like making.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe in a way that's what they mean, but we're also making. We're not like we're making our own stuff. Like we're using different materials, we're coming up with our own concepts. It's not like we're taking someone else's piece and just placing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like our school really encourages us to, okay, here is the systems, this is the Swiss design,
Mm-hmm.
grid, everything, and then we are taking what we know and then transitioning it into something else by breaking the grid,
Mm-hmm.
by like just rebelling like the system and the way it is, like structured.
Yeah. That's why I'm so glad. I always think that like that I'm in art school now and not like 100 years ago, because that would be so boring.
Man, just like one of our professors said, like her experience was that she kind of she liked it, but at the same time didn't understand
Mm. Oh
like
yeah. And that was
what's
recent. Maybe
yeah.
it was like in the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I can't believe that.
Yeah, same.
We do have like a professor now who is more traditional graphic design, and I found that because I'm so used to like our other professors who are so like experimental and like free flowing that I'm like, what is this? What is this structure?
I know. I just pointing that out, like now I finally understand where they're coming from
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because I'm like, this is so weird. Like,
Yeah.
why is one professor saying one thing and the other professor is saying that? And then
Yeah.
I realize, oh, like this is more like the structured way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so now with like our current projects, I'm like, okay, let's do it structured. Let's see what it looks like. And then add in the abstract, the
Yeah.
art into the design piece.
Yeah. That's like so hard for me because I always want to just like jump into like the craziness, the messiness, and then it just looks like really bad. So I have to like learn to like go back to the basics, you know?
Yes. Okay, I just sent you the post.
On Instagram?
Instagram. Yeah.
Look at it.
Because I think this is really interesting to talk about.
I think it is too.
And also, people, you guys listening, put in some of your feedback. What do you guys think? Also,
Yeah, I would definitely be interested to see.
like debate us on this.
I,
Are we just designers and not artists, or can we be both? Or do we have to be one
Mhm,
or the other?
mhm. So I want to say this post is by Sun Yi, I think that's how it's pronounced. SUN.YI. And it says designers are not artists. As a designer, I thought I had to be an artist. I thought I had to express myself through design. I was wrong. Because art is open to interpretation. Design is communicating a clear message. It's problem solving, which I do always say. I always say
Yeah.
like design is communication. If design has to be explained, it didn't serve its purpose. I guess that makes sense. Like this argument is that art is something to be interpreted, like everyone can look at it differently, but design has to be interpreted a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yes. I totally agree on that one though.
I think that makes sense like for interactive design or like I mean interaction design, like when they're designing stuff for people, like wayfinding, signage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then graphic design I think is more like art because we're using different concepts and they can be interpreted different ways in some
That's true.
instances. So I guess it just depends.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, I think like in an advertisement, for example, I feel like it has to have a clear
Mm, yeah,
message
that's true. That's true.
because it would get lost if there's so much like
Yeah.
art into it and then you're like, wait, what's the clear
You're like,
message?
what's that?
What product do you want me to buy now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I totally see this point of view now.
Hmm.